Imagine loving a dog, but every day is a battle to keep them and others safe. What do you do when nothing works? Behavioral euthanasia is one of the hardest decisions a pet owner can face, yet it's rarely talked about openly. This is a tough conversation, but it's one we need to have. Let's cover the realities of this decision and the importance of understanding without judgment.
Let's dig in.
Behavioral euthanasia is the humane euthanization of a pet due to severe, insurmountable behavioral issues that put others in danger. This is considered only after all other options have been explored and exhausted. The most obvious contributor to the decision is safety. Severe behavioral issues can have many components and causes. Dogs can be born with or develop neurological conditions that lead to aggression. They can have numerous unpredictable triggers from their history, or they could have something called idiopathic aggression, which are cases of aggression with no known cause. This can lead to dangerous situations for the owner, their family, any other pets in the household, or the public at large. Dogs with these severe behavioral issues may harm themselves through desperate or erratic actions, such as jumping through windows, chewing through crates, or constant lunging and thrashing. These behaviors can lead to serious injuries, adding physical suffering to their emotional distress. Additionally, when trying to manage the dog, owners face the risk of being injured themselves. Another aspect is the quality of life of not just the dog itself, but that of all affected. In many cases, management needs to be so strict that the dog must never be free from any confinement. They remain crated for most or all of their day, only receiving leashed potty walks while muzzled. They may not have toys, chews, playtime, or companionship, depending upon their triggers. In totality, they lead a very bleak life, devoid of interaction, enrichment, or the ability to act as an otherwise normal dog. There are also the mental and emotional aspects for the dog from the behavioral issue itself. Affected dogs often have episodic bouts of aggression, almost as if something snaps momentarily. Afterward, they often appear shocked or confused, as though they don't fully understand what just happened. The psychological component adds another layer of stress for the dog, compounding their struggles. For the owner, the level of management needed for such a dog can be emotionally and physically exhausting, creating constant stress and fear of a potential accident. They have themselves and possibly kids or other pets to consider, along with the general public safety. Caring for such a dog can lead to social isolation due to not wanting to leave the dog alone or the inability to invite guests into their home. While rehoming might seem like a reasonable alternative, it often exacerbates the challenges for both the dog and their new caregivers. Moving to a new home can trigger anxiety and stress, worsening the dog's condition. In an unfamiliar environment, the dog may feel more threatened, leading to heightened aggression or harmful behaviors. Severely affected dogs are often rehomed repeatedly, causing ongoing trauma and compounding their behavioral problems. Owners may fear the moral weight of a potential attack occurring after rehoming. They may also feel a deep sense of personal responsibility for the dog and hesitate to pass the buck to someone else. When surrendered to a shelter, a dog with severe behavioral issues faces overwhelming odds. Most shelters lack the resources to address their needs, and these dogs are rarely deemed adoptable. If the dog is rehomed, the situation is no better. Few individuals are equipped to manage such challenges, and the dog may end up being seized after causing harm or being deemed dangerous. Both situations lead to the same heartbreaking end: euthanasia in a stressful, unfamiliar environment surrounded by strangers. Opting for behavioral euthanasia at a trusted veterinarian's office or at home allows the dog to pass peacefully, surrounded by love and familiarity. Selecting this option spares them from unnecessary fear and confusion in their final moments. Deciding when to proceed with behavioral euthanasia is an intensely emotional and challenging decision. It's about assessing the dog's well being and the safety of those around them, as well as understanding when all other options have been exhausted. Experts recommend the decision should be made before a bite or harm occurs. While it's natural to hold out hope for improvement, delaying the decision may result in worsening conditions or a serious incident. Trusted professionals like veterinarians, trainers, and behaviorists can help guide this process and ensure it is carried out with dignity and compassion. Responsible pet ownership means sometimes facing tough choices, and in some cases, that means behavioral euthanasia. It's an act of compassion when no other options remain, prioritizing the safety and quality of life for all involved. While it can be an uncomfortable topic, discussing it openly helps reduce stigma and provides support for those grappling with such a decision. The approach to these conversations should always be with kindness and respect. Choosing behavioral euthanasia is never a sign of failure. It's an act of courage and love to prioritize what's best for everyone involved, especially the dog. Until next time, stay curious and keep digging.